Hello, my name is Courtney LaPointe, reporting for NUTV. Today I will be taking a deep dive into club sports at Northeastern University. We'll be also talking to some club sports staff and a student athlete to hear how the program has developed and why it's so important to them. As a club sport athlete myself, I've been wanting to do this profile for a long time now, because club sports are such an integral part of mine and so many others' lives at Northeastern. There are 2,489 active club sports athletes that are part of Northeastern's 64 different sports. These sports range from the conventional, like soccer and baseball, to more niche, such as spikeball and rock climbing. This is one of the reasons why club sports program has grown so much in recent years, because there really is a team for everyone. In the past 10 years, participation has seen a 140% increase, and there have been 24 new teams added. Teams travel all over the country to compete against other universities. The level of competition is high, with teams such as field hockey and men's volleyball winning titles in recent years, and 29 teams qualifying for national tournaments in 2020. However, many of these teams were unable to compete due to the COVID pandemic. Unfortunately, COVID shut down all club sports in mid-March of last year, and only recently have teams been able to resume practices. Many teams are still unable to compete this year, and for seniors such as myself, it's a heartbreaking way to end the sport we love. Off the field, Northeastern club sports athletes stay busy with community service and fundraising efforts. Club sports teams are completely student-run, and while some teams have coaches, others are player-coached. As the president of club softball, I know firsthand the balancing act of scheduling games, booking fields, travel, managing budgets, coaching practices, and games, all while trying to lead my team on the field as a player as well. This is the story of more than 320 club sports executive board members who dedicate themselves to helping their team succeed on and off the field. Northeastern has invested immense resources into club sports, which has made it one of the best programs in the nation. Now, we will hear from club sports directors Nick Avery and Chelsey Wright, who are part of the staff that supports all 64 club sports teams. Followed by NUTV's Cassie Kuchma interviewing Darby Morris, captain of the women's ice hockey team, who will share her experiences with club sports.
My name is Nick Avery, Associate Director of Club Sports and Esports. I started out as an intern and was in graduate school back in 2012 and 13. And from there, I kind of fell in love with it and kind of moved up. And now I'm running the unit of club sports.
My name is Chelsey Wright. I'm the Assistant Director of Club Sports. So I've been here just about 4 years now at this point. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, I'm sure. How much have you seen the growth in just since you've been here the last 10 years?
Since really I've been here, we started out with roughly under 1,000. And we actually grew to over 2,400 last year, kind of skyrocket as well with teams. Since my start here, helped develop 25 different club teams in addition to the ones we already had. So we're up to 64 right now, active teams. And, you name the sport, most likely we have it.
From the time that I've been here, just over the last 4 years, it's been a lot. We've added a lot of features, a lot of partnerships that we've been able to create on campus. One big one, notably, is with sports performance and being able to have athletic trainers, team strength and conditioning classes, lifts, team lifts, individual lifts, stuff like that, clinics for club sport members to be able to go and rehab and just kind of get checked out. And It's been a huge piece of something that I've been able to personally be a part of, and that's been really rewarding and awesome to see. And we're highly competitive, so just knowing that our teams are going and attending regionals and nationals and really just putting Northeastern on the map.
So how would you say COVID impacted club sports, and did you have any creative ways of finding around restriction, things like that?
I really take a lot of pride in this year for what the students did and the creativity that they had with working with us. But yeah, COVID was really tough because, in person, that is sports. There isn't a lot of ways around it, outside of really esports. There's no other way to play a rugby game. There's no other way to softball, soccer, right? All these sports that we love, you kind of have to do in person.
Just like everybody across the entire world that kind of had to kind of come up with different aspects and being able to provide different opportunities for people, especially you have your seniors who don't get to have a season and finish up, and you have your incoming freshmen who are coming into such a weird time, and not be able to, you know, jump into a sport that they love and be a part of this community. So I think that was something that was really, really big for us to want to be able to provide.
We had to think of really creative ways to allow students to get back together but stay within the guidelines. We literally went team by team to try to figure out our solutions for them. One of the first things we did, the conditioning and agility sessions, where we could safely start with socially distant, kind of conditioning-based classes. We really like this also because we didn't really have to exclude any sports. That was one of the hardest things for us, because my whole career, I've been very passionate about being equal across all our sports. I really didn't want any sport to feel like we favored one over the other. At the end of the year, no one would ask us to do it. I wanted to look at the resources on how many practices each team got, how many, because like that was a big thing for me. And coming from a wrestling background, like a smaller sport, you know, I wanted to make sure all four sports felt supported. So it was great that we did that first. And then, you know, we moved slowly, kind of follow the state and other things. There was more of a roadmap now where we were starting to implement different socially distant, more individual-based sports, things that actually, at least in the early stages, we could start with. And then we kind of implemented it phase by phase. And, you know, now we've moved into a spot where we've kind of hit that phase 3 where teams are able to practice. They're all masked, and there's still some occupancy levels depending on where we're at, but it's much more sport-based. And so that was probably a really exciting thing. And it's cool now to see kind of where we started to where we've come from. And I think the other thing is we're going to use a lot of this stuff in the future. I don't know why we would get rid of the agility, you know, classes and stuff as a supplemental. You're going to have your practices, you know, maybe you do that 2-3 times a week. But if you're a team that's really focused or it's around national time, you want to add an extra practice of agility-based conditioning or a class catered to you, why can't we offer that? So I think that's some stuff that we took away from it too.
You know, I say a lot. I was like, you're going to come into this and you're either going to sink or swim. So what can we do to swim? It was a process, but we're looking forward to getting back to next year.
What are some of your goals for not only coming out of COVID, but just long-term for club sports?
Yeah, I think like the immediate goal is to get us back to that sense of normalcy, having competitions again, having full-on tryouts again. Also taking away some of the things that we were able to kind of pick up with COVID along the way and use it to enhance our program there.
I want to see different opportunities be able to be presented for team members club sport members to sign up for. You know, we were able to add and do these outdoor classes for strength and conditioning and agility and stuff like that during this time. So we want that to continue to be an opportunity. The main thing that I would like to see is just see each team just continue to grow and make nationals, and then, you know, come in third, and then come in, you know, and get to that, for us to do what we can to help them get there.
And long-term goals, I think it's continuing to grow into the best club sport program in the country. It started out, I wanted to be, when I started here, the best in New England. East Coast, I think, you know, our numbers show, not just with national success and resources, participation. I think when you look at the whole picture, Northeastern has that. I don't see anywhere else with more opportunities, more backing from the institution on the front that prioritizes. They really do, or Carter Field wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't have a lot of opportunities that we do. So I really want, now I'm moving, you know, I want it to be the whole nation and say, why not? Why can't we do it? And I want certain sports, especially the sports that really don't have a varsity you know, sector like an ultimate frisbee. I want kids that love it coming out of high school to say, I want to go to Northeastern, obviously for the institution, but I want to play ultimate. You know, things like that, I think it is exciting for me.
All right, last question. What is your favorite part, do you think, about working with club sports?
Which is actually going to be the most rewarding thing, I think, for me in this role, is just being able to see that people get to continue the sport that they grew up with and love so much. that and being able to work directly with the executives is really like the two pieces that like make me really enjoy what I do. So I love working with the executives and helping them be able to make that happen for their teammates and stuff like that. So
the students, hands down, I think just being able to kind of work with them, we really want to meet teams in the middle and say, what are you trying to get accomplished? All right, here's your roadblocks just from our experience. This is how we can fix this thing. This is how we're going to accomplish this thing. What are your priorities? And so I think just working day in and day out with students and seeing those things happen in real time, watching their growth. I think that, and I mean, I'm one of the luckiest guys, in the world, just because I get to work at sports all day, and that's been a passion of mine. So,
hi, I'm Darby Morris. I am a fifth-year nursing student, and I'm the captain and treasurer of women's club hockey.
So how long have you been on the team? And then with that, what kind of responsibilities do you have as captain and treasurer?
So I've been on the team for probably like 4.5 years. I did NU in Australia. And so I joined in the spring, which was awesome. And so I've been the treasurer for 2 years, which is a lot of just kind of handling the team's money and our expenses. Thankfully, the actual like club sports office helps a lot with that, helps handle it. But I'm kind of like the student side of it. And then I've been I was assistant captain last year, captain this year. And so that's a lot of more of like the on-ice leadership, just kind of being a team captain in there for everyone. Before
coming to Northeastern, did you know that Northeastern had such a big club sports program, or did you know about the ice hockey team at all?
Yeah, so I didn't know that they had a club hockey team. I think that's honestly a huge reason why I chose Northeastern, because it was like a perfect balance of a great academic school where I could do nursing, but I could also still play competitive hockey. So that's definitely a big aspect. I didn't realize how big it was and how many different teams there are, and also like how competitive it was. But that all just like adds to it. It was definitely, it was a perfect balance.
Recently with the pandemic, what has your experience and your team's experience been in terms of, practicing and games with, a lot of the school's restrictions?
Everything, so it's been weird. Everything's kind of been up in the air, just like everything. We never were fully confident what was going to happen, but thankfully, I want to say probably like beginning of February, we were able to practice like once a week and share the ice with the D1 team. And we had different like cohorts, which is kind of like splitting the team up into certain, I don't know, like I think it was like 10 in each. Mm-hmm. And we tried to do more like half ice stuff. So it was less mingling, less like physical. Thankfully, we could still basically do everything because a lot of our practices are kind of like small number drills. So we didn't do a lot of like full ice scrimmages or anything like that. So it's like small areas things. So it like worked out perfectly.
Over, the course that you've been on the team, has your team been able to participate in any like championship tournaments?
Yeah. So hockey is a little funny because we have like the like ACHA or like the East Coast ACHA like division. So that's kind of like playoffs, which we have made I think like 2 or 3 times. It's like the top 4 teams. And then we also qualified for nationals twice. So we went the 2018-2019 season, and then we were supposed to go last year, like back to back. But of that, it's usually held in March. And so that was kind of right when everything was happening. So it got canceled.
And then lastly, what is your favorite memory, as a 5th year? Like, I'm sure you have many, but what's your favorite memory about being like on a club sports team?
Yeah, there's so many. I think like literally I've met some of my best friends from the team. Yeah, but probably top memory was beating BC in overtime at nationals. That was cool.
I want to say a big thank you to Nick, Chelsey, and Darby for taking the time to talk with us. I can't wait to see how Northeastern Club Sports will grow in the future, and I hope many more athletes are able to continue to play the sports they love. That's it from me and Cassie for NUTV. Thank you for watching.